Good evening. Welcome, friends, family, graduates, and honored guests. Welcome to the 2023 UNM-Taos Commencement Ceremony. The processional will begin in a few moments. Before we begin, a few announcements. Please place your cell phones and electronic devices on vibrate or silent mode. For everyone's safety and comfort, smoking, including e-cigarettes and the use of lighters or any open flame, are not permitted in the Sagebrush Inn and Conference Center. For your convenience, tonight's event is being live streamed and will be available to view online at taos.unm.edu/grad. We ask that you please keep the center aisle and front areas clear. Photographs may be taken from behind the roped-off areas to the left of the stage. Please hold your flowers and gifts until after the ceremony. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit. In the event of an emergency, an announcement will be made from the podium. Please listen carefully and follow the directions of event staff and ushers. At the conclusion of the ceremony, we ask that guests remain in your seats until the recessional is complete. You may greet your graduates in the courtyard for the reception. Today you will witness a ceremony rich in tradition as we recognize the graduates of the University of New Mexico Taos, class of 2023. Refer to pages 4 through 9 of your program for the proceedings for tonight's ceremony, and on pages 11 and 12 you will find a list of stage party members. Please note the following correction. Valerie Trujillo is the superintendent of Taos Municipal Schools. And tonight, on behalf of tribal leadership, we welcome Lieutenant Governor Anthony Suazo. Please rise for the procession. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Knights of Columbus Santiago Assembly Color Guard, followed by the National Anthem, led by Soraya Elise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Color guard, post flag.
Please welcome Pastor Gail Martinez of Living Word Ministries, who will now provide the invocation.
Please pray with me. Good and loving God, how wonderful are the works of your hands. We thank you for the completion of another academic year. We're grateful for your guidance and love in this important work. As we gather here today to celebrate a step forward into new places and new people and new experiences, let us not forget the blessings that follow behind us. For UNM-Taos, we thank you for giving this gift to our community, which provides a safe place to learn and grow. Thank you for those instructors who have poured out their knowledge and wisdom. For the families represented here this evening who have cheered those graduates to the finish line and stood by their sides through the many bumps in the road. For each graduate, please help them use all that they have learned here to make the world a better place, to serve others in true solidarity and kinship, to seek ways to help others and to always seek the greater good. Finally, may you bless and guide our graduates as they reach this end and as they chart new beginnings. May they love fearlessly and seek your will earnestly all the days of their lives. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. We ask all of this in your name and in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
You may be seated. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mary Gutierrez, Chancellor of the University of New Mexico, Taos.
Good evening. The University of New Mexico, Taos sits on the traditional homelands of the Red Willow people of Taos Pueblo. The original peoples of current-day New Mexico Pueblo, Navajo, and Apache since time immemorial have deep connections to the land and have made significant contributions to the broader community statewide. We honor the land itself and those who remain stewards of this land throughout the generations, and also acknowledge our committed relationship to Indigenous peoples. We gratefully recognize our history and work to maintain healthy, fruitful relationships with our neighbors for generations to come. Good evening, friends, families, honored dignitaries, and members of the UNM-Taos community, faculty, and staff. Thank you for joining us this evening to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of the UNM-Taos 2023 graduates. As important members of support teams, this is your celebration too. We are fortunate to have so many supporters of UNM-Taos. Tonight, we would like to offer special thanks to Senator Bobby Gonzalez for his continued service, support, and partnership. Prior to entering public office, Senator Roberto Gonzalez had a long and distinguished career as an educator. He served in the New Mexico legislature since 1995 and in the Senate since 2019, where he is still working to advance education in the state of New Mexico. UNM-Taos is indebted to Senator Gonzalez for his support for our campus facilities. Our ability to serve students is directly impacted by the spaces that we devote to teaching and learning. We are grateful for his leadership and support of nursing and the Holy Cross Hospital, a teaching partner for our nursing students. Senator Gonzalez, thank you for all that you have done for Taos and Northern New Mexico. Please join me. Graduates, more than any class at UNM-Taos, you have shown up. You have spoken up. You have dreamed and worked to make your dreams and the dreams of those before you a reality. The class of 2022 imagined a student lounge. You pursued that plan and ensured that the future UNM-Taos students would have a lounge made for and by students. You wanted a bigger student government. You made it happen. You envisioned a more engaged student body, so you created clubs, found sponsors, devoted funds, and made ways for students to connect and stay on campus. You have been a partner in addressing food insecurity and advocating for mental health resources. The UNM-Taos class of 2024 will inherit. I've been really close with the UNM class of 2024 will inherit a better campus because of you. You have worked through challenges. You have been persistent. You have worked multiple jobs, taken heavy course loads. You have cared for family. You've attempted challenges. You've failed, learned, and come back stronger. In the same way that you have collectively shown up for others, I ask you, show up for yourself. Seize the day, take the shot, embrace every opportunity. In your life, your job, your relationships, your education, your community, continue to be bold. Ask for what you need. Strive for what you want. Your life will be better for it. Your future will be brighter, and you will make Taos and our state a better place. UNM class of 2020, keep dreaming big. Congratulations. Let the celebration begin.
I'd like to invite Dr. Colin Nichols, Chair of the Science Department at UNM-Taos, to introduce our student speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our invited speaker, Mr. Nathan Oswald. Nathan was raised in Farmington, and after graduating Farmington High School, Nathan spent 5 years working as a river guide on the Colorado River and the Rio Grande. He moved to Taos in 2006 and worked construction and ran his own custom woodworking and cabinetry business. In 2019, he and his wife Genevieve started a new business, Clean Taos, and shortly after that, he closed down his cabinetry business and turned his attention towards college, trusting UNM-Taos with his education, a decision which I believe has benefited both Nathan and UNM-Taos. Nathan is the first person in his birth family to graduate college and has amply demonstrated the success our first-generation students can have at UNM-Taos. He has excelled academically, being a member of the Phi Theta Kappa Honors Society and on the Dean's List. He was further honored by being selected for All-State Academic Team. In the fall, Nathan will continue his studies at New Mexico Highlands University, where he will pursue a BS in environmental geology with a water resources concentration. His goal is to have a career as an environmental coordinator or natural resource specialist, where he hopes to influence and fairly implement public land policy. Nathan is a fine student and a wonderful person. We are proud to have him as a fellow Lobo. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nathan Oswald.
Thank you, Dr. Nichols. Everyone in this audience, whether they're a student, an instructor, administrator, friend, or family, has invested in getting us to this milestone. The students here have persisted through myriad challenges, and the non-students here have spent years supporting today's graduates. We're here today to recognize the achievement of our shared goals. It's an honor to address the University of New Mexico Taos campus's graduating class of 2023. I'm dangerously swollen with pride at our accomplishments. Like many of you may have learned in an English class here, it's best to keep your compositions as short, accurate, and compelling as practical. So I won't keep you here all night long telling you how great we are. It is my sincere hope that events like today's are a regular and increasing occurrence around here. For many of us, that could mean our children succeeding us as graduates of the University of New Mexico. The opportunities for education and enrichment provided by this organization are priceless to this community, where too often those opportunities can be scarce and challenging to realize. I didn't end up studying at UNM-Taos because I wanted to wear a cap and gown or hang a diploma on my wall, although those are fine things to be doing. It also wasn't a burning need to solve algebraic equations, although that's also an admirable pastime. I began pursuing an education 20 years after graduating high school because I'd struggled to make ends meet the entire time, and I was unhappy with the feeling that I didn't have the advantage of higher education that many Americans do. Many of you followed a similar path here, and others have different stories and perspectives. It's a delight to celebrate our accomplishments together today. Rather than to send students to be assimilated at a school somewhere else, let's continue to build an educational institution by and for Taoseños. To that tune, I have a request of y'all. As you leave here today to go on with the rest of your life, remember the pride of accomplishment that you feel right now. Hold on to the lesson that unlikely and difficult things are indeed possible. Recall this victory and let it always remind you to support the people, the traditions, and the institutions which help us to develop into more capable people. We would also be remiss to celebrate this occasion without giving thanks for the Clower family's generous bequest of our campus. Whatever the provenance of their title to the land, the fact that we benefit from it being a public institution and a center for learning is inspiring. Likewise, it would be a disappointment not to recognize the diversity of the class of 2023. This class, which is majority female, majority Hispanic, and majority non-traditional students, is inspiringly varied and unique. It is not a cultivated or a contrived diversity. It is the real melange of backgrounds, ethnicities, and personalities that has always marked Del Norte. On so many occasions, I have found this student body to be humble, kind, thoughtful, courageous, and inspiringly intelligent in ways that it's difficult to imagine for most colleges in this day and age. You are the Nuevo Mexicanos I grew up with, and whose creencia I am proud to share. Good job, Lobos. You're likely a little tuckered out crossing the finish line right now, but I'm confident that throughout your lives you'll find yourselves reflecting upon what it has taken to get to this point, and all the points you'll go from here. I'll leave you with a quote from another UNM alumni, the writer Tony Hillerman. If you are not for yourself, who will be for you? If you are only for yourself, what are you? If not now, when? Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan, for your thoughtful message. Before you return to your seat, we'd like to take this opportunity to share another of your accomplishments. Mr. Oswald, as I mentioned previously, is not only a member of the prestigious Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, but he was also selected to be on the competitive all-state academic team, which was recognized by the New Mexico legislature earlier this spring. Nathan, in honor of this accomplishment, we present you with this medal.
Thank you, Dr. Nichols.
Hang on, one more. And we also give you this certificate, which reads, Nathan, let it be hereby known that Nathan Oswald has been selected to the 2023 All New Mexico Academic Team in recognition of scholarly achievements of students enrolled in New Mexico's community and junior colleges. Nathan Oswald.
Good evening. I'm Randy Archuleta. I'm the Dean of Instruction here at UNM-Taos, and tonight I have the honor and privilege of introducing our keynote speaker for UNM-Taos graduating class of 2023, Dr. Glenaba Martinez, also known as Glenny. Dr. Martinez is an associate professor of educational thought and sociocultural studies, social studies methods, and American Indian education in the Department of Language, Literacy, and Sociocultural Studies at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. She has 4 decades of experience in education as a middle school teacher, a high school teacher, a researcher, a coach, a curriculum writer, an author, an innovative and powerful cultural leader, and a professor. Dr. Martinez was born and raised in Taos Pueblo and is of Taos Pueblo and Dene ancestry. She has spent her career working with and teaching Native youth in their home communities and in detention centers. She has worked with school districts throughout the state to develop culturally relevant curriculum. And she has been a leader in the teacher preparation program at the UNM College of Education. As the Taos News once stated, Dr. Martinez has spent much of her life reflecting on the nature of education, what it is, who it serves, and how it happens. First as a student, then as a teacher, and then as a teacher of teachers. She became an educator because she wanted children to have positive experiences in school, a goal I think every one of us in this room share to our very fiber. She is passionate about education and promoting culturally based curriculum in our schools and communities as a way of recognizing the integrity of Indigenous sovereignty. She is known for getting her students to think critically and outside the proverbial box. I've had the pleasure of working side by side with Dr. Martinez on a number of occasions, and please join me in giving Dr. Glenaba Martinez a welcome as tonight's keynote speaker.
Iya hotu anam aiwa nyut matui tu limo anak o amyut akwini yunam kim o unam inuna tupo na ina yuna chai sana they finished with their schooling and education. I'm sorry I was talking my language. No, I shouldn't apologize. I'm very proud to speak to my language. I'd like to thank everybody that's up here. I'd like to thank Dabo and everybody from my Pueblo Nation of Taos, from Picaries, from Okewinge, and other places that are here. I also like to recognize Tio Onam K'Oawa and all my relatives here from the Tatiniwa and from the Pueblo, and especially all of our vecinos from our various beautiful Taos area and Cuesta and beyond. So thank you very much for giving me this honor to speak to you and to talk to you about some things that I think are important to me. First of all, I think that we need to think a little bit about the fact that we're not here without being advocates. And one of the projects that I've worked with recently with teachers from the Pueblo for the past 3 months at the Red Willow Center was talking about self-advocacy. Self-advocacy meaning the ability to speak up for yourself, the ability to stand up for yourself about things that are important to you and your family and your needs. As people who have now completed your studies, I'm so proud of you, so proud of you. And some of you are moving on to other professions, or maybe you're moving on to your other degrees, what have you. But the beauty of what you've done in this past years, these past semesters, is that you've developed your ability to be advocates. You came to UNM-Taos as advocates. You wouldn't be here if you didn't advocate for yourself to pursue education, to do better, to be better, to make contributions to your family, to make sure that your family never did without, that you have enough money for a feast day, that everybody has money to buy the food that you want. I get a little misty because while I stand up here as an accomplished professor and my needs are now met, I grew up pretty poor. And when I think about how I watched my mother and my father when he passed away, and the poverty that we grew up in, and living at the Pueblo, and seeing the beauty of living at the Pueblo, and seeing some of my neighbors here, Mrs. Kuncha, Pearl's mom, seeing her and sitting here in the audience, that we grew up in the village and we never thought about our poverty and what we didn't have. But then as I went to school and I became empowered from knowledge, I began to realize that we shouldn't all have to scrap. We shouldn't all have to make ends meet by our fathers pawning their rifles so we can have Christmas gifts, which is what I often saw family members do. My own stepfather do that. We shouldn't have to do these things. We shouldn't have to depend on seasonal labor all the time, that we should have constant income, that we should all enjoy the things that we have in society. So when I teach my classes, I talk about advocacy. So as advocates, you have family advocacy. I wouldn't doubt that many of you have come to a time when you went to a school meeting on behalf of a brother or a sister or your daughter or your son or maybe yourself. Maybe some of you are community advocates. Maybe some of you are involved with the movements to maintain the acequias, or maybe to continue with the sovereign status of indigenous peoples from Taos Pueblo. I see some of our governor's officers here. They're advocates. They stand on behalf of us, and they continue to move forward to maintain our cultural way of life. I also see us as cultural advocates. Many of you work hard to maintain your cultural traditions by speaking your native languages, your heritage languages to your children, as well as doing all the different things, whether it's on a ceremonial feast day, if it's on a day of commemorating a particular saint. Those are important things, and in those positions, when you are working hard to maintain those traditions, you're advocating. You're cultural advocates, whatever that may be. So advocacy is shaped by multiple factors. It's your individual skills, it's your knowledge, it's your core values, and it's external entities. Those core values are those things that have brought you through life, those things that you look to when you pray, those things that you look to when you get up in the morning and you get yourself motivated to go to school. You think about respect and love and service and compassion and all those things that are foundational to who we are in the Taos area. So one of the beauties of who we are as people of Taos is that we come to our positions in life with what a friend of mine, Tara Yoso, refers to as community cultural wealth. And she worked on, like many of us, she built on other people who have written about this. And she identified several types of capital. One of them is called aspirational capital, and I see it right in front of us. This is the ability to maintain hope and dreams for the future, even in the face of real and perceived barriers. You find ways to get to what you need to do. You find ways to make sure that you get your papers done, to make sure you get your assignments turned in, to make sure that your children are well fed, make sure grandma is taken care of before you leave her. You make sure that people get to their medical appointments. But you have that ability, that aspiration to move forward. We also in the Taos Valley have a strong linguistic capital. This is the intellectual and social skills that we attain by having these experiences in having more than one language or style. And I think about the beauty of who we are as Taos people, many people speaking the many different dialects of Spanish. There's different ways of speaking Spanish, just like there's different ways of speaking our indigenous languages. And being able to speak those languages itself is a form of wealth. Familial capital is the third type of community cultural wealth. And this refers to those cultural knowledges that are nurtured among your family that carry a sense of community history, memory, and cultural intuition. So these are the things that you learn from your grandmother and your grandfather, from your mothers and your aunties and your fathers and your uncles and elders in your community, whatever that may be. It's that familial capital that you turn to for support. They are the ones who tell you, be strong, carry on, si se puede, those are the people, that's your familial capital. A fourth area is social capital, and these are the networks of people and community resources that you draw on. Look at yourself in your program of studies. You all have different degrees, and I think all of you probably drew upon each other when you had to during final exams, during midterms, during projects, when you did group work. Why? Because you were all learning the same things. You all understood a certain type of a language. But then we also have our social capital when we go outside of UNM. It could be your friends. It could be professional organizations that belong to your church group. The next three forms of capital are very important. The next one is navigational capital. And this is something I see all around here, which is your skills of being able to maneuver through social institutions. Historically, this refers to the ability to maneuver through institutions that were not created with communities of color or poor people in general. You found ways to make your way to the financial aid office. You found ways to figure out how you can pay for schooling. You figured out ways who the people are that you need to talk to get advice. That's navigational capital, and that's something that you learn as you go through educational system and that you carry with you and you teach your children as well. The fifth capital is resistant capital, and this is the knowledges and skills that are fostered through oppositional behavior that challenges inequality. And this form of cultural wealth is grounded in the legacy of resistance to subordination exhibited by poor people and working people and communities of color. Resistant capital we see in your ability to say, okay, so you're not giving me access to this service. I'm going to find a way, in a non-violent way, to try to make my position stood. I'm going to advocate for myself. I'm going to engage in self-advocacy. So resistant capital are those things that we see individually, but we have a strong history of resistant capital here in the community of Taos. We can look at the Pueblo Revolt of 1680 as a strong example of resistant capital. We can look at the movement of what happened when people were concerned in the Taos area with water rights. When we have various forms, when people come in and try to tell us how to live, when they're telling us how to use our land, that resistance capital is something that you can get strength from. And finally, a new type of capital that people are adding on here is spiritual capital. And these are the sets of resources and skills that are rooted in a spiritual connection to a reality that's greater than yourself. So for some of you, like myself, you get up early, and some mornings you're inspired to just give thanks, to give a blessing, to think of others who are not doing well. That's spiritual capital, and it's not maybe a religious, or for maybe some of you it is a religious organization, but for some people it's just that time that you have to reflect and think about something that's larger than yourself. So the connection between advocacy and community cultural wealth, we bring this to our classrooms and our work and everything that we do. And I'm convinced that all of you would not be here without using your community cultural wealth. I see that in the beauty of what you're wearing and how you're sitting there so smart and so knowledgeable and so distinguished. You've been using that community cultural wealth. Advocacy is based on the idea of speaking up and standing for oneself. And so community cultural wealth is a foundation for advocacy. As individuals who are marking this occasion with the completion of your studies, you are now positioned to advocate on your behalf and others who seek your support. Don't be surprised if people come to ask you to do things because they know that you've completed something. Especially those of you in the health occupations, you are so valuable. People are going to come to you. They're going to say, I don't feel good. You are positioned to advocate on your behalf and others who seek your support. Your knowledge, skills, and educated disposition in conjunction with your community cultural wealth places you in a key position to advocate for yourself and for others. And so I leave you with the thought of thinking about yourself as an empowered, strong, educated, skilled individual who has many gifts to give to your cultural communities, to your families, and to all those who you come in contact with. So I pray for you that you have a good life. You're loved by someone. On mahumi itiu mawama. You're dear to all of me. To all of you are dear to me, and I appreciate all of you for all your work, and thank you for giving me time to speak to you. I appreciate ta'a.
You'll note in your program symbols next to students' names. These symbols represent activities these graduates have participated in during their time at UNM-Taos. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge these outstanding students. First, we'd like to honor our students who have served our country as members of the U.S. Armed Forces. Will any active military or veteran please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. Students who are the first ones in your family to earn a college degree, first-generation students, please stand and be recognized. Honor students with a grade point average or GPA of 3.5 or greater, please stand and be recognized. Members of Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society, please stand and be recognized. Members of Sigma Theta Tau National Honor Society, please stand and be recognized. I think when Dr. Martinez talked about capital and what's in this room right now, we could just see that in the recognitions now. I do want to give a special recognition this evening and talk about our dual enrollment program. Our dual enrollment program is designed to provide area high school students the opportunity to earn college credit while enrolled in high school through taking academic and career technical college courses and providing an opportunity to enhance their education by enrolling early in college pathways. Tonight, we'd like to recognize dual enrollment high school students from Escalante High School, Taos Academy, Mora, and Penasco High Schools, which I know are all in the house, for not only graduating with their high school diplomas this year, but also with their associate degrees. Will the dual enrollment graduates please stand and be recognized, along with their high school administrators and liaisons who are there this evening celebrating alongside them. At this time, we will confer degrees for graduation by academic program with the Associate Dean and Department Chairs. Starting with the area of Career Technical Education, I'd like to invite Dr. Jeannie Baca, Associate Dean of Career Technical Education, to join me at the podium. Will the candidates for certificate degrees in the areas of Career Technical Education, including General Studies, Pre-Business Administration, 3D printing, construction technology, culinary arts, entrepreneurship, and information technology, please rise.
Dr. Archuleta, I would like to present the candidates for certificates and associate degrees in the Department of Career Technical Education.
Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
Yes, they have.
Please recognize these candidates as graduates of UNM-Taos. You may be seated. Please join me in welcoming Sarah Stoller, Chair of Fine Arts and Film and Digital Media Arts. Will the candidates for certificate and degrees in the areas of Fine Arts and Film and Digital Media Arts, those with an AFA and Digital Media Arts, please rise.
Dr. Archuleta, I would like to present the candidates for certificates and associate degrees in the Department of Fine Arts and Film and Digital Media Arts.
Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
Yes, they have.
Please recognize these graduates and candidates as graduates of UNM-Taos. You may be seated. Now for the area of health sciences. Please join me in welcoming Nursing Director Dawn Kittner. Will the candidates for certificates and degrees in the following health sciences programs please stand? Nursing, community health, emergency medical services, both basic and intermediate, massage therapy, certified nurse assistants, and structural integrationists.
Dr. Archuleta, I would like to present the candidates for certificates and associate degrees in the Department of Health Sciences.
Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
They have.
Please recognize these candidates as graduates of UNM-Taos. Please be seated. In the area of humanities, please join me in welcoming Department Chair Amy Chavez Aguilar. Will the candidates for certificates and associate degrees in areas of humanities, which include the liberal arts, please rise.
Dr. Archuleta, I would like to present the candidates for certificates and associate degrees in the Department of Humanities.
Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
Yes, they have.
Please recognize these candidates as graduates of UNM-Taos. Please be seated. Welcome to the podium, Dr. Colin Nichols, Chair of Science, and Holly Salazar, Chair of Math, to confer degrees in math and science. Will the candidates for certificates and degrees in math and sciences, such as pre-science, please rise.
Dr. Archuleta, we would like to present the candidates for certificates and associate degrees in the Department of Math and Sciences.
Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
Yes, they have.
Please recognize these candidates as graduates of UNM-Taos. Please be seated. That's our new Harmony group, Holly and Colin. Please welcome to the podium, back to the podium, Amy Chavez Aguilar, who will assist in conferring degrees in social and behavioral sciences. And will the candidates for certificate and degrees in the area of social and behavioral sciences, which include, here's our teacher preparation that Dr. Martinez just talked about, education and early childhood education certificate and associate, please rise. Those are our future teachers.
Dr. Archuleta, I would like to present the candidates for certificate and associate degrees in the Department of Social and Behavioral Sciences.
I'll do a better script next time. Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
Yes, they have.
Please recognize these candidates as graduates of UNM-Taos. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium Dr. Gutierrez to assist in conferring degrees for UNM bachelor's degrees. Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees, including the areas of criminology, liberal arts, and psychology, please rise. In spirit, we will still confer degrees. Dr. Gutierrez, I'd like to present the candidates for bachelor's degrees for the University of New Mexico.
Have these candidates fulfilled the requirements for graduation?
They have.
Please recognize the candidates wherever they are as graduates of the University of New Mexico.
Before we continue, just a quick announcement. We have 3 vehicles that are blocking the north exit gate. Sagebrush Security is requesting that you move those vehicles as soon as possible so they can open the gates for exiting. So at this time, we will recognize individually graduates as we announce their names and they walk the stage. During this time, we ask that you keep the aisles and front area clear. Photographs may be taken from behind the roped-off areas to the left of the stage. We will have a photo area set up during the reception for photos with your graduates. Please stand, graduates.
With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Kendra Reardon. With Associate of Arts in Pre-Business Administration, Madeline Gonzalez Mascareñas. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Denise Pacheco. With an Associate of Arts in Digital Media Arts, Kenyon Olson. With an Associate of Arts in Digital Media Arts, Alexander Simetti. With a certificate in 3D printing and a certificate in construction technology, Levi Montoya. With a certificate in construction technology, Stephen P. Herrera. With an Associate of Applied Science in General Studies, Caleb A. Tafoya. With an Associate of Applied Science in General Studies, Dylan Lucero. With an Associate of Applied Sciences in General Studies, Ren Lewis. With an Associate of Arts in Pre-Business Administration and a certificate in Entrepreneurship, Maximilian S. Kanazev-Jelinski. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Ashley N. Martinez. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Loveth Ibe. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Haley H. Vickery. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Jamie Frescas. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Azalea A. Grego. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Lauren N. Wright. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Carla V. Santos. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Sasha E. Martinez. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Miranda F. Vijo. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Mary Annalise Bush. With an Associate of Science in Nursing, Jessica L. Gonzalez. With a certificate in Community Health, Edwina B. Romero. With a certificate in Community Health, Katrina A. Padilla. With a certificate in Community Health, Amanitas Marie. With a certificate in Community Health, Shirley J. Gurule. With a certificate in community health, Dominique S. Abeta. With a certificate in community health, Che E. Mondragon. With a certificate in community health, James I. Mondragon. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Joe Mike Rodarte. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Brian M. Romero. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Victoria A. Vasquez. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Antoinette C. Sanchez Gonzalez. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Bernadette J. Cowell. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Yvette P. Salazar. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Liana S. Casados. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Brianna M. Salazar. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Alicia M. Valencia. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Brandon L. Valdez. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Micah J. Talbot. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Basic, Michelle Getch. With a certificate in emergency medical services, EMT Intermediate, Destiny E. Shelburne. Certified Nursing Assistant, Marcy Gomez. With a certificate in Nursing Assistant, Marlene Real. With a certificate in Nursing Assistant, Jenna Pacheco. With a certificate in Integrative Massage Therapy, Megan De Ruiz Yankee. With a certificate in Integrative Massage Therapy, Robert F. Scram. With a certificate in Integrative Massage Therapy, Steph Grant. With a certificate in Integrative Massage Therapy, Cynthia K. Fugman. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Nathan P. Oswald. With an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts, Dylan Gomez. With an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts, Kona Mirabal. With an Associate in Liberal Arts, Adrian Rodriguez. With an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts, Alexia Dominguez Lozano. With an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts, Manny V. Baca Villalobos. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Delilah Duran. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Sydney M. Pino. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Juan Carlos Rodriguez. With an Associate of Science in Education, Autumn M. Nieto. With an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts, Benjamin O. Fugman. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Ryan A. Vijo. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Tomas C. Atencio. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Caitlin A. Hines. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Emma R. Maestas. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Brycelyn Martinez. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Nathaniel R. Martinez. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Caitlin A. Valerio. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Alexis R. Folsom. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Marissa M. Tafoya. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Pamela Rayal. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Jennifer L. Martinez. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Mariah L. Martinez. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Michelle Suazo. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Zoe LaCure. With an Associate of Science in Pre-Science, Tanaya Rumold. With an Associate of Arts in Early Childhood Education, Carmen E. Gonzalez. With an Associate of Arts in Early Childhood Education, Zali A. Ortega. With a Certificate in Early Childhood Education, Christian Ariola Ruiz. With a Certificate in Early Childhood Education, Jennifer M. Nuns. With a Certificate in Early Childhood Education, Brittany P. Silva.
Will all graduates please rise? As a symbol of your completion of the requirements for your certificate or degree, you may now move your tassel to the left. Family, friends, and community members, please join me in congratulating the UNM-Taos class of 2023. We now welcome Slice of Southern singers who will share an honoring song for our graduates.
Yahweh, 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 hey, hey, we are Yahweh, 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 we are Yahweh, Yahweh, hey, hey, we are Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. We are Yahweh, yo, we hey yo, hey Yahweh, yo, Yahweh, hara, yaro. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. Yo, hey yo, we hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. We are Yahweh, yo. We hey yo, hey Yahweh, yo. Yahweh, hara, yaro. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. Yo, hey yo. We hey yo, hey. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. We are Yahweh, yo, hey, yo, hey. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. We are Yahweh, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. We are Yahweh, yo. We hey yo, hey Yahweh, yo. Yahweh, hara, yaro. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. Yo, hey yo. We hey yo, hey. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. We are Yahweh, yo. We hey yo, hey Yahweh, yo. Yahweh, hara, yaro. We are Yahweh, Yahweh, yara, yaro. Yahweh, yo. We hey yo, hey. hey yo, hey yo. Two, way out, head out, oh, way out, oh, wow. Way higher, yo, hey yo. Way higher, way yo, oh, well. Hey yo, hey yo. Yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo, oh, well. Hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo.
Please rise for a closing blessing by Taos Pueblo Lieutenant Governor Anthony Suazo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, family, friends, graduates, scholars, everyone here. On behalf of the 2023 Taos Pueblo Tribal Government, I'd like to say a prayer first in our native language and then interpret it as best I can in English. So na ina tong ay haba imako man ba inay kol ko iwa may ay ipi familia ka amaki haba on ewa ka una ona ki kuwi it amai haba so yun na itu so kimat amai kimahum amai ka waten kiwai ta amai ka haba si wana ay kan time amai ka Ubay wa may atsiuta kawaktin wakuha kana siwi piu mala unam tomen kuya tayo mapimman kuya hiuna wa ana ikaw may ba yag na kuwi mapim kama yana yawan mala unam tomo kumay kuya tayo uwaka. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming here this evening. Celebrate these graduates and their accomplishments. I thank each and every one of you for putting in the time, the effort to further your education, to help your fellow man. We all live in this valley as one. We should be courteous and friendly to one another because in our ways, that's how we are brought up, to help your neighbor, give him help when he needs it, give him advice when he asks for it, and to be there when they need you. Our governor couldn't be here tonight. He's attending his wife's graduation from the University of Oklahoma, and he extends his congratulations to each and every one of you. And go out into this world and show him what you're made of. Never stop learning. Never stop trying to be the best that you can be. And we appreciate it, and I'm sure your families are really happy for you. So may God bless each and every one of you, keep you safe, and make the future a bright one for all of us. Thank you.
This concludes the UNM-Taos graduation ceremony. Congratulations to the class of 2023. For everyone's safety, we ask that families and friends in the audience please remain in your seats until the recessional is completed. Graduates will be proceeding to the courtyard across the parking lot for the reception. You might meet them there in the courtyard shortly. For everyone's safety, please refrain from gathering in the parking lot. Please rise for the recessional.
Well, hi-yo, 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 oh, hi-yo, well, hey, yo, hey, hi-yo, well, hi-yo, 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 oh, hi-yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, hi-yo, yo, hey, hi-yo, yo, hey, hi-yo, yo, hey, hi-yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, oh, hi-yo. Well, hey, yo, hey, hi, hey, yo, hi, way, yo, hey, hi, 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 hey, yo, oh, hi, yo, well, hey, yo, hey, hi, hey, yo, hi, way, yo, hey. Well, hi-yo, 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 oh, hi-yo, well, hey, yo, hey, hi-yo, well, hi-yo, 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 oh, hi-yo, well, hey, yo, hey, hi-yo, yo, hey, hi-yo, yo, hey, hi-yo, yo, hey, hi-yo, hey, yo.